Hello students, in the previous lecture we have taken a radiation mechanism of antenna, that is how antenna radiates the electromagnetic waves. In this lecture we will take different types of antenna. So in the previous lecture we also defined this definition. We will revise, that is antenna is defined as a metallic device, as a rod or wire for radiating or receiving radio waves. The IEEE standard as per the antenna or aerials as a means for radiating or receiving radio waves. The antenna is a transducer between free space and transmission line. The antenna is a transitional structure between free space and a guiding device. So there are different types of antennas: wire antennas, aperture antennas, microstrip antennas, array antennas, reflector antenna, that is a parabolic reflector antenna. So one by one we will take some details of these antennas. So first, wire antenna. So these wire type of antennas are simplest type of antennas, and generally in these wire antennas, dipoles antenna is used at HF and UHF frequency. Main advantage is that these antenna are easy to feed, and also they are easy to fabricate. Also they are in lightweight and also having a low gain. So these are the some advantages of this wire antenna. In that, different wire antennas, dipole antenna, circular loop antenna, helix antenna, all these antennas comes under this wire antenna. So first, wire antenna, dipole. A dipole is an antenna composed of a single radiating element split into two sections, not necessarily of equal length. The RF power is fed into the split. The radiators do not have to be straight. So this is a dipole antenna. And short dipole, also known as lambda by 2 dipole, the length is less than lambda by 2. The self-impedance is generally capacitive. The radiation resistance is quite small, and ohmic losses are high. Standing wave ratio bandwidth is quite small and nearer to 2% of design frequency. Directivity is nearer to 1.8 dB. Radiation pattern resembles in this figure. This is a radiation pattern, and this is a short dipole. Then half wave or lambda by 2 dipole. So length is approximately lambda by 2, that is 0.48 lambda for wire dipoles. Self-impedance is 40 to 70 ohms, not with no reactive component, and good match to coaxial cable. Directivity is nearer to 2.1 dB. Standing wave ratio bandwidth is 5% of design frequency. So this is a half wave lambda by 2 dipole antenna. In the second chapter we have to take mathematical treatment of this lambda by 2 dipole and all dipoles, that is infinitesimal dipole. Mathematical analysis we have to take. So next is a helical antenna. This is also wire antenna. A helical antenna is specialized that antenna emits and responds to with a rotating or circular polarization. These antennas are commonly used at Earth base station in satellite communication system. This type of antenna is designed for use with an unbalanced, such as the center conductor of the cable is connected to the helical element, and the shield of the cable is connected to reflector. So we will see construction of this helical antenna. So this is a coaxial cable, this is a reflector or base, then spacers support of helix, this support for helix, and helical aerial element, this is a helical structure as shown in this figure, and this is a central support rod. Working of helical antenna. Helical antenna is an antenna consisting of conducting wire wound in the form of helix. This antenna can operate in one of two principal modes, that is either in normal mode or axial mode. So what is normal mode? In this mode, the dimensions of helix are small compared with wavelength of this antenna typically used for mobile communication. So dimension of helix are small compared with the wavelength of this antenna. So this is a normal mode of helical antenna. Then next, this is a radiation pattern of this normal mode. Then axial mode. In this mode, the helix dimensions are at above the wavelength of operation. The antenna falls under the class of a waveguide antenna and produces the circular polarization. These antennas are best suited for space communication. So this is a radiation pattern for axial mode helical antenna. The next type of antenna is a aperture antenna. These aperture antennas are useful in microwave communication, and these are constructed from waveguide. So what is waveguide? Any hollow metallic tube is called as a waveguide. When one end is tapered or flared, in this case this word is important, when one end of this waveguide is tapered or flared, then these aperture antennas are formed. Generally in this category, horn antenna comes, also open the waveguide antenna, then slots antenna, and this, as previously mentioned, use at microwave frequencies, and they have moderate gain. So we'll study some details of this aperture antenna. So in that aperture antenna, basically horn antenna comes. A horn antenna may be considered as a played out waveguide. So this is a played out waveguide, and this is a waveguide. Why it is called as any hollow metallic tube. So this is a hollow tube. So horn antenna may be considered as a played out waveguide. This is a played out, by which the directivity is improved and the diffraction is reduced. The above image shows the model of horn antenna. The flaring of the horn is clearly shown. This is a flaring, and there are different horn configurations. In that we will mostly three configurations are mostly used, and we will study these configurations. So in that, different types of horn antenna, that is according to flaring structure, these are the types. So first is a sectorial horn. In that, this type of horn antenna flares out in only one direction. Means flaring means uh, 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 that waveguide structure is folded, or as shown in previous figure, their curve shape is there. Flaring in the direction of electric vector produces the sectorial E-plane horn, and similarly flaring in the direction of magnetic vector produces sectorial H-plane horn. So these terms comes, that is sectorial E-plane horn, sectorial H-plane horn. When flaring is done in the direction of electric vector, then sectorial E-plane horn is produced, and when flaring is along H, uh, that is in the direction of magnetic vector, that is H, then it is called as a sectorially H-plane horn. The next horn is a pyramidal horn. So in this pyramidal horn, this type of a horn antenna has a flaring on both sides. If flaring is done on both the E and H walls of the rectangular waveguide, then pyramidal horn antenna is produced. This antenna has the shape of a truncated pyramid when flaring is done on both sides. In the next figures, we will see the how flaring is done on both sides. Then next is a conical horn. When the walls of circular waveguide are flared, it is known as conical horn. Walls of a circular waveguide are flared, then it is called as a conical horn, and is a logical termination of a circular waveguide. So as previously mentioned, this is a H-plane sectorial horn, that is a flaring is done along this H direction, and this is a flaring, means this waveguide structure is flared in these directions. is called as a flaring. Then E-plane sectorial horn. In that, when flaring is done along E side, that is electric field intensity side, then it is called as a E-plane sectorial horn. And when flaring is done on both sides, then it is called as a pyramidal horn, just like this structure. Then next is a conical horn. As previously mentioned, conical horn, when circular waveguide is flared like this, then this conical horn structure is formed. This is a conical horn. Then next is a microstrip antenna. So this is a most important antenna presently used in mobile communication, or in mobiles. Microstrip patch antennas used in the, so in the fourth generation, also in the fifth generation, these microstrip antennas plays very important. So this is relatively new, and also printed conductor or substrate. Uh, this antenna is a printed structure. You can print that structure compatible with planar microwave circuits used at microwave. These antennas have low gains. In construction, a very thin metallic strip or patch placed on a small fraction of wavelength h above the ground plane. So this is a ground plane, and very thin metallic patch or metallic strip is placed on small fraction of wavelength h. This is a h, means height भी कह सकते हैं, और fraction of wavelength h above the ground plane. This is a ground plane. And as shown in this figure, epsilon r is there, that is a ground plane and patch are separated by dielectric. This is a ground plane, and this patch are separated by this epsilon r with constant, this epsilon r, that is a dielectric with constant epsilon r. The length of patch is capital L. This is the length of patch, and this is a width of patch. So next, generally different types of patch are used. Some of the typical shapes of the patch are, so in that, first is a rectangular patch, square patch, circular ring, elliptical, triangular. So in the mostly this square patch or rectangular patch are generally preferred in the many applications. So microstrip, one of the most useful antenna at microwave frequencies. It usually consists of metal patch, as previously mentioned, on top of a grounded dielectric substrate. Patch may be in a variety of shapes, but rectangular and circular are most common, as previously we have mentioned. So standard patch antenna. So this, in that we have to study working of microstrip patch antenna. As shown in this figure, how this microstrip patch antenna works, that is their fringing electric field is developed. So from fringing electric field from the two edges of the patch had to cause radiation. That is when signal or supply or voltage is applied to this side, then fringing field is developed. Then this fringing structure field is developed, and when these waves comes to this side, then radiation of electromagnetic waves takes place, and antenna radiates electromagnetic waves. And this consists of metallic strip placed above a ground plane. So this is a standard patch antenna, and this is a side view of that patch antenna. Then next is the array antenna. Array is an assembly of antenna elements arranged in an orderly fashion. The elements are usually identical. So what is the array? Group of antenna forms an array. Group of antenna, that is a n number of antennas form the array. That is in that basically reflectors are there and directors are there. So group of antennas forms the array. So this is a ground plane, and these are the different field elements of that array antenna. So these are used to produce desired radiation characteristics, 5 controls that can be used to shape the overall pattern of the antenna. The geometrical configuration of the overall array, that is either it is linear, circular, rectangular, the relative displacement between the elements. These are the 5 controls that can be used to shape the overall pattern of the antenna. Next is the excitation amplitude of the individual elements, then excitation phase of the individual element, and relative pattern of the individual elements. Then linear array configurations. In the linear array configuration, there are generally 8 elements as shown in this figure. Planar square array, that is this is a 8 by 8, and planar circular array as mentioned here. Next is we have to study parabolic dish antenna. So parabolic dish antennas are generally used in satellite uplink and downlink design. Also, we can take example of GMRT Khorat Narangao, Pune. So this place is nearer to our college. So in that GMRT, this parabolic dish or parabolic reflector type of antennas are used there. So then this is also radio telescope as shown in this figure. Parabolic reflector antennas are used there. So also called as a reflector antenna. So in that the parabolic reflector antennas, there are various geometrical configurations, that is either plane, curved reflectors. Okay? Especially paraboloid is preferred, widely used in radio astronomy, microwave communication, satellite tracking, and also our direct to home service, that is for TV reception. They are usually larger in diameters to achieve the high gain required to transmit or receive signals over a large distances. Parabolic reflector with front feed. So this is a feed mechanism for the parabolic reflector, and this is also parabolic reflector with a conical feed, that is as shown in this figure. The next, as previously mentioned, parabolic antenna is an antenna that uses parabolic reflector, a curved surface with cross-sectional shape of a parabola to direct the radio waves. So this is a parabolic structure. It is often referred to as a dish antenna. So in that parabolic antenna is an antenna that uses parabolic reflector as previously mentioned, a curved surface with cross-sectional shape of a parabola to direct the radios. It is often referred as a dish antenna as previously mentioned. It was invented by German physicist, that is Heinrich Hertz, during his discovery of radio waves in 1887. Its function similarly to searchlight or flashlight reflector to direct the radio waves in a narrow beam or receive radio waves from one particular direction only. So this is a simple structure, that is the antenna with parabolic reflector, and from this figure we can easily explain how this parabolic reflector uh, is useful in this antenna. So this consider this figure. This is a paraboloid. This is a focus point, and this is a O. Then, as shown in this figure here, these are the distances, that is F, this P1, P2, P3, then P1 dash, P2 dash, P3 dash. These are the points, and D as shown in this figure is as shown in this figure, and this is a plane wave path. So uh, this is a basic structure of parabola, and at the transmitting end, that is when electromagnetic waves are transmitted from this field or focus point, these rays are reflected in from this paraboloid in parallel fashion as shown in this figure. And also at the receiving end, when these electromagnetic rays comes, then they reflect back and comes to at a single focal point, and we will get the strong receiving signal, and this is the advantage of this paraboloid. So what is paraboloid? It is a locus of point which moves in a such way that distance of a point which moves in a such way that distance of a fixed point called as a focus. This is a fixed point focus plus distance from straight line called directrix is constant. Distance from the straight line. This is a distance from the straight line, that is a directrix is a constant. That is from this equation we can explain from definition of parabola distance P1. So this P1 plus P1 dash P1 dash is equal to is equal to fp2 plus p2 p2 dash fp2 plus p2 p2 dash plus fp3 p3 p3 dash. So all this is equal to constant. So here OF is a focal length of parabola. This OF is a focal length of parabola, and OO dash, this OO dash is this OO dash, this distance is a axis of parabola. This is a axis of parabola. Mouth of diameter is a D, as shown in this figure. This is a mouth diameter. So from geometrical optics from previous figure, these are some important points regarding parabolic reflector. When point source is placed at focus or focal point, rays are reflected by parabolic reflector from parallel wavefront at the transmitting end. As previously mentioned figure, waves are reflected in the parallel fashion. When beam of a parallel rays incident on a parabolic reflector, then radiation focus at a focal point. Rays reflected by parabolic reflector travel same distance to reach near mouth of a reflector. Open end is called as aperture. Time taken by reflected ray to travel distance up to directrix of parabola is the same. Time taken by reflected ray to travel distance up to directrix of parabola is the same. All reflected rays are in phase, so there is a no phase difference. Parabola have property that results in the production of concentrated beam of radiation. So this is an important point in a parabolic reflector antenna. That is a property that results in the production of concentrated beam of radiation. We will get the concentrated beam of radiation. So these are the different examples of parabolic reflector antenna. Also, we have taken this is the Earth station, satellite Earth station, then also satellite VSAT, then satellite receiving antennas, then direct to home service. These type of antennas are preferred mostly. So next, antenna applications. So there are n number of antenna applications. First is a ground-based telecommunication systems. In that, first is a direct broadcasting. Second for radio links, for mobile phones and base stations, traffic toll, navigation. The next application, that is a satellite communication system, linking ground-based system at a long distance, satellite TV, mobile earth terminals, oblique mobile phones. Applications, antenna applications, civilian and military radar, weather radar, air traffic radar, military search and scouting radar, then synthetic aperture surveillance radar, and ionospheric and planetary research. These are the civilian and military radar applications of the antenna. Then radio meters, military early warning systems in radio astronomy, in meteorology and land resource surveillance. These type of different types of antennas are used.